And we are live. Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of Real Chill Conversations on this Sunday. A little later in the evening, because as many of you may also be experiencing during this time, back to school, well, at least for me and my household, is tomorrow. And so we were finishing up the mad dash of running around and getting the last bit of items that were on the list. And then one of my kids needed to get a physical for football. Otherwise, he won't be able to continue practice this week. So, yeah, it's been kind of
Oh no.
been one of those days. But yep, we got it done, got the forms uploaded, and he's got the physical form so he can bring them to the coach tomorrow so that he can continue on with his practice and whatnot. So
I
got it.
wonder why for you all it's tomorrow and
I
then
don't
for us it's Tuesday.
I don't know, but we start tomorrow,
That's
honey.
crazy.
I wish it was Tuesday, but we start tomorrow. So I thought, in light of us entering into a new school year for 2025, ending in 2026, let's have a conversation about whether or not we are in the position to be teaching our kids, and are we teaching our kids to be financially independent?
That's a very good question.
And, I asked this question and it came up because over the course of the last, 10 days or so, since we had the open house for both of the kids in their school, and all these
Hmm.
different things came up, different like dues for sports and class dues and just different things that we were coming out of pocket for, and we were talking to our kids about the money that we were spending. And
Right.
I started to really question, like, you know what, we just come out of pocket and we just take care of it, but we don't ever really go over and explain to them what it is that we're paying for, and how are we taking care of it, and how are we managing it. And our kids have bank accounts and they've got their little debit cards and whatnot and their cash apps and stuff, so they have access to be able to utilize money and to spend money. If they want to order a little something, they can do that. But I really sat back and I was like, but wait, have we really had the proper conversation so that they understand and that they're prepared as they, grow older? And, we've got one that's driving and he's going to want to get a car. This year, as a junior, we thought he was going to be able to drive to school and be able to drive himself home from practice, but he can only do that if he's in a dual enrollment for college classes and his high school classes, or if he's in a work study program where he has a job as part of his curriculum. So,
Hmm.
yeah, he can't drive to school this year, but
Oh.
yeah.
Well, I'm very glad that you brought this up because whether we want to believe it or not, this is a very significant topic, just based on the simple fact that kids don't really get this topic in school.
Right.
And many schools lack a formal subject that strictly talks about financial independence or
Exactly.
literacy. So this
Exactly.
leaves us parents
Right.
with the sole responsibility to prepare our children for the real world, right?
Right. Exactly.
So we as adults lead have to lead by example. And I know
Yes.
we're busy. We're very busy as an
Mm-hmm.
adults. But if I go to the store and I shop out of control like I
Right.
do sometimes,
Yes.
y'all don't judge me, okay? Yes, I go to the store and my buggy be full, and then I just swipe a card and my kid is like, why can I get a chocolate?
Right.
Can I get a chocolate?
Right.
And sometimes, I do say no, and he'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, well, why? You got all of this
Why?
stuff.
Mm-hmm. What's
So
one more thing? What's one more thing? What's one more thing? It's like, okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I completely get it. I totally understand. And you are so right. There is not a class. I thought that there would be by this time in this day and age, I thought that there would be a class that dealt with financial independence and financial literacy,
Mhm.
as you so eloquently put it. I love that term, financial literacy. Um, when I was in school, we had like cooking class and we had
Yes.
there was cooking there was cooking
I
class and like
remember home
and like
economics.
home economics, but not really economics in general as a whole and overall, and really understanding the economy and budgeting and what does it mean to budget, and how do you grocery shop, and what's the best way to shop, and do you just go in and just do you pull from a list, do you shop and you stock, do you take advantage of the buy one get one free situations and scenarios, all the different things
I
that
do
really.
now,
Yes.
but I used to not.
Yeah,
And I used to be like, I'm missing out.
you are. You absolutely are. I'd be like, okay, let me go ahead and get this
And
cereal
you
right
know what?
here.
I still can't get straight, and I would like to get straight now that you mentioned the buy one, get one free,
Mm-hmm.
like coupons.
Yes.
Like, I know some people that are so good with coupons.
Coupons. Yes.
Like, they will go to the store, baby, and they will spend $50 and they will get
$50.
like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Like, I
Yeah.
still can't get that together. I need
They
help.
spend like $50 and they have like the jumbo rolls of paper towels. They have like four things
Yeah.
of Tide laundry detergent. They've got, fabric softener. They've
And they know
got,
what days to go.
yes, they've got, 2 liters of ginger ale, 6 liters of ginger ale because they had a coupon to get, buy two and get four, and, all this kind of stuff. And there's like a whole show even about it,
Right.
extreme couponing. But yes, I used to specifically at one point in time make sure that I got a paper on the weekends, especially on Sunday, to kind of go through the paper and go through all the different ads and like clip the coupons, and I would like put my stuff together, and I tried to really do it, but it just was kind of like hit or miss. It was never really the stuff that the coupons that I would cut out, it was never really anything that we particularly needed or particularly wanted. It was just kind of what was there. So I was, shopping in the hopes that the more that I did it, the more that, maybe coupons will come up and I'll get coupons. Sometimes you would check out and you would get your receipt and you would get like coupons to use like in the store for certain items and
Yes.
whatnot. And I would do that. But,
Oh,
I
I
just,
also wanted to mention too that you mentioned your kids have like debit cards. They have
yes,
accounts, right? Like
yes.
my kids do too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really proud of them because they actually you know know how to manage it.
Yes,
So that's a great thing. And
yes.
one of the things that I wanted to do with my oldest, which I have done a little bit. Like we had conversations about it, but I actually haven't got him like hands on. And now
Mm-hmm.
that he's older, like I would like to like sit him down and on a paycheck, like pay
Yes,
my bills and
yes,
see how much I have left over and tell me
yes.
how can I manage this money until I get paid again.
Exactly. That's definitely a smart thing to do. I'm glad that you're
I would
doing
love
that.
to do that with him
Yeah,
like soon.
I'm glad that you're going to do that with him. I think that it's very important. It's really essential so that kids have an understanding and know what it is to be able
Mhm.
to maintain the amount of money that they're earning versus the amount of money that they're spending versus the amount of money that they're also saving. Because one of the things that unfortunately we're not taught until we actually enter into life in the real world and we get this advice from other people, but my
Yeah.
parents would always tell me that I needed to make sure that when I got paid, whenever I worked my jobs when I was in high school and whatnot, to make sure that I always put money aside for savings and I always saved money. So they were always like, make sure that yeah, you have your little stuff that you have to pay, but I mean, not really. I mean, I really didn't have any bills that I was like, held to the fire for that I had
Right,
to pay. But,
right,
I had my little stuff. Like if I wanted to go get my nails done, then I would, spend my money on that. Or if I wanted to go to Express or pop into Macy's and like get something, I would just, I could just buy it or whatever. And then I had my little, they had gotten me an American Express card, so I had that. So, they did talk to me about credit and the importance of credit, and they led by example in the sense that they were very diligent in how they utilized their money. So they spent their money, they saved their money, they um the things that they spent it on were investment type things, so
mhm,
the homes that we had, and making sure that they had life insurance and investing in the stock market. And so they didn't really show me all of that stuff. They kind of glanced over it, and it's something that I wish that they would have gotten into more detail about. But because I had that experience, I was keen to want to be able to live a certain way and be able to, be okay. So, I wanted that for myself. But I feel that, when I got my first, really, really good job that I was making,
mhm.
good money at, I was just so like, ooh, like I'm making good money. I could do this, this, and this. And I was just spending. I mean, I still saved, but I probably didn't save the way that I should have. My spending to saving ratio was definitely over. I was definitely overspending and was spending unnecessarily. And I mean, on things that was like, going out to eat all of the time, not just once in a while. I mean, like every day I would
I
go out
think
to
that's
eat.
just ladies. They love to eat.
Yes, we do. Going out to
We
eat.
won't
It was
turn the meal
like,
down.
it was
That's why
like,
we struggle
no.
sometimes.
Right. No, I'm not bringing my lunch. We're going to go here. We're going to hit the Mexican space. We're going to go to, Olive Garden. We're going to Red Lobster. We're going here. We're going to Outback. All these different, the different restaurants that were out and about at that time that she just
Right.
wanted to go to and hit. It was like, bring lunch for what? Like, there's all these restaurants over here. Like, what do you mean, bring my lunch? No. But now I'm like, yes, absolutely. I'm cooking this food.
I
I've
have a
got
question. Oh
Yes.
shoot, I took my earring out.
Oh.
Um, at what age do you believe young adults should be financially independent? By what age?
Um, I think by the time that you are a legal adult, you should have all of the skills that you would need to be able to sustain yourself should you need to, being that you are a legal adult. Um, there's a lot of kids that, they start
Legal
working
adult, what age are you talking about?
18,
18.
not 21, yeah,
Oh,
18.
okay. So the survey says 22.
Mm-hmm. It does.
But guess what? On the survey, it was also shown that young adults have felt very short.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Parents right now, and I'm so glad you did this podcast again. I'm gonna say it because this is a very good topic, because a lot of parents are actively, like myself, searching um and looking for strategies to activate the kids to see how they manage money.
Yeah.
So this is a very good topic. I myself, like I told you, I mean, that was just one example that I wanted to do with my son,
Mm-hmm.
but I am looking for ways,
Yeah.
to actually help them with this, because I mean, it's not just about financial freedom or financial to be financially
Mm-hmm.
independent as a child. But you also have to implement like setting goals, investing, budgeting,
Absolutely.
not forgetting about yourself.
Right,
Because it
right.
ain't, if we just sit here and think about everything is about bills, 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 bills,
Mm-hmm.
then you're never going to get out of that space.
Right.
And I feel like I was stuck. Those were one of the things that I was stuck in before.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
always saying, I gotta pay this, I gotta pay that.
Right.
So I try to find different ways on, okay, hold up. It has to be something for me in this. It can't
Right.
just be about bills.
Right.
So how do we go about that?
So I think that, like one of the things that you said is, to find a space and to find a way to like do something for us. And one of the ways that was suggested to encourage getting your children to start focus on saving and start getting them into a mind frame of
Mhm.
understanding and having a respect for money is helping them to find contentment in their financial circumstances. For example, if you have a teen that wants to purchase a car, you help them set a budget and a savings plan. But at the same time, you make sure that they understand it might not be the newest car in the block, but it's going to get them from point A to point B. Plus, you don't want to go out and spend all that money and, run up your credit and do all that kind of stuff. You don't want to take on that kind of situation. You want to be able to get a car that you can pay for, you have the title to it, you own it, you got it. So the only bill that you got to really worry about is your little car insurance, honey, and your little gas money. Okay? We don't need to be worrying about no car loans right now.
Yes,
So
true.
if you focus on,
And
if you,
credit, we know,
yes,
and
yes.
investing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I didn't know how important investing was in my younger age. Like I really didn't. And now that I see um the rewards that you can get from it, it's like,
Yes.
very interesting. So,
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Um, I think too, one of the things that, I don't know that everyone thinks about this like when they start having kids, but do you think about, how are you going to take care of your kids' tuition? Are you going to have to take out student loans? Are you going to have to borrow from your retirement or your 401k?
mhm,
Is your child going to have to take on student loan debts? Are you going to have like a 403b that you can, put some money into that, every month or whatever, and just keep accumulating that and let it gain interest and then have a lump sum available to help pay for your kids, education. I do think, as parents, I've had friends that were like, yeah, my parents were like, yep, we got you through high school. That's as far as we're going to take you. If you want to go to college, that's on you. So I know lots of friends that were, saddled with student loan debt. It's a pain in the butt,
I
but,
don't like that. I don't like that. I
but
feel
it,
like
yeah,
you should like stick there to
yes.
see your child. And I know as much as us as parents, we want to be like, oh, okay, my child is turning 18. And that's one of the things, that I say is like, my child's turning 18. Okay, he's going to be, a young adult, handle stuff and things like that. But if he's not prepared, I don't think I'll be prepared just to push him on out there,
Oh
because
no.
I
And I,
do.
I
And
wouldn't,
even now, when I buy them things, I always
yes,
tell them, like, take care of your stuff.
right.
Because, like, when you move, you know what I'm saying? You can take this stuff with you.
With you. Yeah.
You don't have to start all over again.
Right.
So at least you'll have a nice, bed, a nice computer system, whatever the case may be that they have in their room. I
Yeah.
tell them, I
Their
say, take care of
electronics and
it.
all that. Yeah. And let me just be clear. I definitely don't mean that at 18, that's it, you're done, we're not going to help you, we're not going to support you, we're not going to do anything like that. I just feel that that's a healthy goal to try to aim for, so that when your child is in the age of getting ready to graduate from college, and or whatever it is their next step in their process, whatever they decide to do after high school, whatever their choice is, to go to college or to enter the workforce, or go to culinary school or to travel, whatever it is that their plan of action is, that they're in a space to be prepared for.
I was out that young.
Yeah,
I was out
yeah.
getting it on my own. Like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously. I left my mother's house at 17.
Oh, wow.
Uh, Even though I went to live with my sister, but at an early age, I was out getting it. Do you
Yeah.
hear me? Making my own money, working. I always had, I started working at McDonald's.
Okay.
That was my first job. But, after that, it was just like things just started to fall out of nowhere where I would really get good jobs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't like I was really out there. I was like very mature. Yeah, to handle it on my own and pay bills and help out and still try to I wasn't I was not on survival mode, I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
say, because I kind of managed my money pretty well.
Oh, that's
The
great.
only thing I only had a trouble with was actually with my credit because
Okay.
again, I mean, my mom told me a whole bunch of times. She was like, "You want to have good credit," but I never knew why.
You
Like,
never knew
tell me
why.
why.
Right.
And I'm a person that I want to know why.
Yeah.
So,
Help me understand. Make
right,
it make
help me
sense.
understand. Break it down for me. Give
Yeah.
me, tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, I was not caring, baby. When I knew that I could get a credit card, I could get
Right.
about 10 of them, I
Yep.
ran them up.
Hmm.
So then I was like, okay, I'm sitting here looking crazy because when you try to get something, I would have the money, but I won't have the credit.
Right.
So now I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to start this all
Yeah.
over again. So
We gotta
I
work
hit
on
the
this.
reset button, and
Yep.
baby, that's what I'm working towards
Yep.
because listen, credit is as good as, like, probably better than cash because you don't want to be out here
Yep.
spending your cash
Yep.
when you can have credit and
Yep.
get exactly what you need to build your
Especially
financial freedom, your financial independence, whatever it is that you're trying to
exactly.
accomplish.
So doing that, and then also establishing yourself, I definitely believe, a person should be in a good position to be able to set themselves up for
Hmm.
having multiple streams of income. So not just being
Exactly.
dependent on one job or just one career to bring them, sources of revenue and generate income for their households and for their families. So
Hmm. That's very important.
when you're in a situation like that, then of course you can also establish yourself with business credit, and you get yourself situated well with business credit. And then you don't have to use your personal credit to help take care of the stuff that you need to do for your business. And then you can continue to grow
And
and
then make
grow.
sure that that business is a LLC because
Yes.
that's what I'm doing now in the
Yep.
process of doing. And you want to make sure that you keep those things separately just because when you go file your taxes,
Yep.
you want your name to be separate from your business.
Exactly.
Or if
Absolutely.
not, you're going to run into some issues.
That's an excellent tip. Um, so I just think that, as parents, we have to do our part. It's our responsibility for these children that we bring into the world, and we want to do them, our best service. And I think that helping them, encouraging them, coaching them, and showing them by breaking it down in real time, making it make sense, walking them through your process of paying your electric bill or your gas bill or your phone
Right.
bill or whatever it is that whatever bills that you have that you need to pay, walk them through a scenario in which
See,
you need
and
to pay it.
my son, he has his own phone. So
Mm-hmm.
like when he started like getting a little bit of money
Yep.
from doing little jobs, I used to be like, okay, now you're, actively, getting little jobs here and there. So you pay for your phone bill.
Right. Right. That's
And I
good.
gave him that responsibility.
That's excellent.
So,
That's excellent. And that gives him, when kids are able to do that,
mhm.
and being able to do that successfully, it helps to reinforce their confidence in their finances, and it helps them. It's been proven that kids that are in situations and where they do have some level of financial responsibility that they hold, even if it's just being responsible for their own phone bill, or paying for the gas for them getting from point A to point
And
B.
he did a very good job.
Good, good. That's
He
excellent.
said, I
So,
gotta pay my phone bill now.
yeah.
It's off.
That's great.
And then
So,
the little one tells me, one day I told him, but I told him I was telling him something about, because he wanted to do something, and I was like, right now I'm budgeting. So
mhm.
I was like, I don't have, any cash right now. I don't have no money right now, to do that. And he was like, he told me to go to Bridget.
Oh, oh,
If y'all know who Bridget is a loan company. And I
oh,
don't
okay.
know how he heard about Bridget. I don't know. I mean, I guess he just be on the internet.
Okay, he
Okay.
told you to go to Bridget.
And
Wow.
I Googled it and I was like, who is Bridget? And then
That's
I
what I
was
was
like,
about to ask. I was like, "Who's Bridget?"
oh,
I
you
was
can
like,
get a
is
loan to
that
your
his auntie or
paycheck.
something?"
I was like, you can get a loan onto your paycheck.
Wow. Oh, Bridget. Okay, I
Yes.
got it. I got it.
Yes.
To cover you from one check to the
My
next.
6-year old.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's wild right
He
there.
said you can go to Bridget.
You're
So Bridget, if you're listening, you have someone who will be great to get you some promo.
There you go. And endorsed by the 6-year-old.
He
Absolutely.
said you could go to Bridget. I was like, who is Bridget?
Wow. So what kind of things are you doing for the 6-year-old as far as like money and stuff like that? Like, does he get an allowance? Do
He
you have
does.
okay, so he
He
gets an
does.
allowance. That's good.
But only like if he do his little chores, which is
Right.
like pick up his toys and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then like he'll save his money in like
Mm-hmm.
a coffee,
The coffee tins.
can.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, well, I know you told me to save my money, but can I just take this much and go to the store? And I'll be like, yeah,
Oh,
sure, let's
okay.
go.
Let's
And then when
go.
we go to the store and it's not enough because he got too much, then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm sorry, like no,
Right. No.
you brought this much. You said
Right.
that's all you were going to spend.
Mm-hmm.
So he puts whatever it is back
Gotcha.
enough for what he has.
That's what you
And that's how I
that's what
teach
you
them
gotta
budgeting.
That's what you got to do. I've been caught out there a time or two in my life where I've been in the grocery store and I'm watching they scanning my stuff and I'm like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait.
And then
Okay.
my daughter has a rough time. And then my daughter has a rough time because, baby, she has money and she wants you to spend yours.
Oh,
So she's not, she still have a little bit of more learning to do, but
Well,
Yeah.
she's not alone. Studies show that parents definitely have their work cut out for them in preparing their children for financial independence. That becoming financially independent in early adulthood is an uphill battle.
Or that may just be a woman's thing.
You know what? It could be a woman's thing, but overall and in general, only 16% of adults aged 18 to 24, 16% of adults aged 18 to
I think I didn't
24
hear that.
are financially independent. So that's not a big number. If
No, it's
that
not.
tells you anything right there, that's not a big number.
That's what I just told about the survey.
Yep.
You know,
It's
it's
not it's
not,
not
it's,
it's
we're
it's
like, a lot of people are failing. I do also believe like the economy has everybody off track, and we have to get back on track.
we have to get back on track, and this
And
is
I,
why so many people have to, readjust their living situations. You've got more grown children or adult children that are over the age of 24 still living with their parents because it's just not financially feasible for them to be
Mhm.
on their own independently.
Well,
um
I actually feel like, moving in together and having like more people in your household really like helps. It really
yes.
does.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't have a problem with that. That's not the issue.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be an issue for me because I feel like more people in the household, and everybody is working, like more freedom people can have with their money and try to invest and do other things like
Right.
invest in their business or whatever it is that they're wanting to do to make more money. So
Mhm.
I actually think that's a very good thing.
Yeah, I
But
I don't
the
disagree with that
economy
either.
have people like so like out of place right now
Stressed. I mean,
that,
everybody's just is stressed. You feel like,
yeah.
definitely like one check is not enough to
Hmm.
make it and survive. Like one source of
On
income
survival mode.
is
Yeah.
absolutely not enough. You're one disaster away from things just going all the way left. That's literally like written everywhere. America today, almost every household, like something like 67 or 68% of all households are one disaster away from being on the verge of a financial ruin.
But
So
don't get discouraged.
definitely don't get discouraged.
Don't get discouraged because
Definitely don't.
baby, that's what I
Definitely
was.
don't.
I was
Yeah.
I was on the verge of getting discouraged, and I was on the verge of saying, you know what the heck is going on?
Uh-huh.
But I just had to get myself together, and like I love what I do now. I really do. I enjoy it. If not, I wouldn't be doing it. But
Exactly.
on the other hand, I do, like I was telling Brenna, I want to build that financial stability. I want to build that wealth. I want to
Right.
leave my kids something. And that's not just to say, oh, so they don't have to do anything. No, I don't want my kids to struggle. I don't want my
Right.
family to struggle when I'm
Right.
gone. I want them to be straight. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, it's just the way it is.
Right.
So, and I want them to build things that they like to do, to help others. And I want them to be able to do things that they want and love to do. Because if you're doing something that you don't want and love to do, then it's really hard to build anything from it.
It really is. It really
So,
is. You do definitely need to have a passion about what you're doing. And if you don't feel that passion, then it's gonna just stifle you. You're gonna resent it, and it's just not gonna leave you in a good place. I mean, life is already hard enough as it is. So whatever you have to dedicate your 8, 9, 10 hours a day to between your travel time and working late and all this kind of stuff, you better love what it is that you're doing every single day.
and I'll leave this example. When I used to work at McDonald's, okay, the pay might not have been the best, but customer service, like I love that. That's something that I love to do. So
Yes.
I didn't find it hard to
Right.
be nice and polite to people. Some people do.
Right.
Some people do. I
Right.
have those
Unfortunately,
days
some people
where
do.
I
Yeah.
go get me a shake or something, and I be like, "You didn't want to kind of work today," but no, it's just okay. It's fine. It's some things are just not for certain people,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
I still enjoyed it because I was like, "It's my first job."
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to see, I always make people smile anyway because I like when people smile. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that you enjoyed what you were doing. Like even,
Yes,
being young and it being like your first job.
it was. I was excited, baby.
That's
I was
cool.
excited. It was a great experience. And as I got older and older, I figured out, I really like this, you know, customer service
Right.
slash then I started doing collections and then I
Mm-hmm.
started doing everything in that arena. So I was
Gotcha.
like, I really like this.
Yeah.
It made me feel good to know that I put a smile on somebody's face or I helped you solve an issue,
Yeah.
you know?
So that's something else that we could do our kids a great service by, making sure that we guide them and encourage them to find, work that gives them satisfaction, work that they feel good about, work that,
Mhm.
they're happy with and that they enjoy so that they, don't start off in this life with jaded views and like working a grueling job that they just can't stand and they hate it and it's just and just we don't want that
I
life
mean,
for you.
some places are like that,
They
especially if
are,
you're
and it's
working with people that are not friendly.
uh-huh.
Then I understand. I
Yeah.
completely understand. But it could be the lowest paying job. And I'm talking about if you have a great team, all that, you're not even going to be able to see how much you're getting paid for real. But
Yeah.
I still feel like pay do need to be a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's just because, oh my God, look at how much we have to spend
Right.
on just living expenses.
Oh
Like
my
it's
goodness.
ridiculous.
It is so
So
ridiculous.
that can make a person, hey, I ain't judging. I already know, but that can drive a person crazy.
Yep.
But I say
It's
that's why just like try to do what you love to do and what you like to do.
mm-hmm.
I think that's a good thing because you'll find a purpose. Trust me, you will.
You absolutely will. And, that's what part of being a young adult is. That's what part of
Mhm.
being a kid is. It's all part of your journey is to go through these experiences and for us to kind of guide you and help you navigate your path. So for all parents out there, that don't know or are not sure where to start to put their kids on a path to financial independence, I mean, just really start by leading by example. Sit them
And some
down and
parents, not just by example, well, yes, by example, but some parents even help their kids at a very young age to build their own businesses.
absolutely. Yes. That's
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 very
that's
good.
that's definitely a great thing. And it definitely is teaching them all aspects, giving them a head to toe, A to Z experience and financial independence by helping them with their build their own businesses. And a lot of these businesses, as we've come to see, wind up being very successful. So definitely kudos to those parents out there.
Absolutely. And the earlier you start, the better.
Yeah, the earlier you start,
I
absolutely
feel like that.
the
Look at
better.
how the streamers are making money right
Oh
now.
my gosh, yes. It's so
Like
wild to me. It
it's
is
crazy.
so wild to me, but it's definitely all within your reach. You can aim for the sky. There's this the sky is definitely not the limit. You can go and above and beyond that if believe it
Absolutely.
in it. You can achieve it, and you got to receive it. All those things. So we're going to have another great conversation coming up very soon on
Yes, on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Looking forward to that. And we have a guest that's going to join us on that episode. So that's definitely going to be a great one for everybody to tune
My
in
loving sister.
and join.
She will
Yes.
be joining us on Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to talk about it because I feel like a lot of people are going through hard situations right now,
Yeah.
especially with people with their health
Yep.
or in relationships. And she is going to definitely join us to talk about, God and the process of having faith. And that is so important
It
because
absolutely
I feel
is.
like we should be seeking God, for everyone who believes in God. We should be seeking Him, not only through the good times, but bad times as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we sometimes let sickness and other issues come on to us very heavily when we
Right.
shouldn't, you
Right.
know. And that is the reason we're having the podcast this Tuesday, because we want to remind people God is here for you.
Yes, he
So,
is.
you know, um, yeah, it's gonna be a great conversation.
I'm
And
looking.
I'm glad that she's gonna be in there, because definitely, like, I could only encourage someone so much and tell people, whatever it is, to kind of soothe them, and I can let them know.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like some people just have this thing about them that if you talk, people listen. So
Yeah,
I really feel like she has that.
that's great.
Yeah.
That is great. Well, on that note, you guys, it's been a great chance to chat and kind of talk and just kind of go over this whole place and where you are. There's no, again, no judgment, none of that. Just take what you will from our conversation tonight and just do your part to help your child or your children towards their path and on their journey to becoming financially independent. They'll appreciate it. You'll appreciate it. It'll just put you guys in a better space, and it'll also help just bring you guys closer together because as kids, we look up to our parents to give us insight and knowledge. And when we do share those bits of information and those treasures with our kids, I know I always enjoyed receiving it. And whenever I do share something with my kids and they appreciate it, they always let me know how much they appreciate it. So
I was just about to say that. And
yeah,
your kids are going to love you for that.
absolutely.
Yes, they are.
Absolutely.
Like, they're going to be like, Mom taught me this, that,
Yep.
Dad taught me this, that. Like,
Oh yeah,
that
my
is
oldest, my
very good.
oldest that thanks me all the time for instilling in him, the reasons why you want to have good credit.
Oh
And
my
like
goodness. Now,
when you get the credit card, don't go run it up.
he is definitely on my topic,
Hmm.
because you know what I'm saying? I, that's what I struggle with the most.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have known a lot of more things earlier on, but it's not too late, baby.
It
I'm
is
getting myself
absolutely
together.
never too late. It's never too late. We don't say that here. It is never too late. Never, ever,
Absolutely.
ever. All right, y'all. On that note, everyone have a great evening. Wish us luck on our first day back to school for the school year 2025,
Yeah.
2026. And I will see you on Tuesday.
All right, y'all.
All
Peace
right,
out.
guys. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.